Right. Welcome everyone to O4U 2020, in case you didn't hear enough welcome yet. I'm so excited to be here with you. And a year ago, I definitely never thought that we would be doing this virtually. But I already feel like I know so many of you thanks to your Slack introductions and after reading many applications. So I'm so excited that you're here and we're here together. I would like to use this time to hopefully help you get to know me a bit and to get to know the team and year that got us to this point. So by way of introduction, my name is Chandra Sahu. I use she, her pronouns, hers, and I am the conference lead of the 2020 Marketing Undergraduate Conference. I am a Black woman of mixed race, hence the fully Indian name, which definitely confuses folks if they're seeing me for the first time after hearing my name or seeing it written. I'm based in New York City, but I'm from Farmington Hills, Michigan, which is a suburb in southeastern Michigan, about 30 minutes from Detroit and 30 minutes from Ann Arbor. I grew up upper middle class in a relatively diverse school. My graduating class in high school was around 300 students, and I would say that we had almost every racial background represented in my class. And I grew up to the daughter of two attorneys who had kids really young, and so that was definitely a part of my growing experience as well. So when I left for school, I went to the University of Michigan, which was not too far from home, but far enough that I got to have a very different experience for college than I did in my youth. And I always loved to dance and to sing, so immediately got involved in both. I was a dance minor for the first couple of years, and I joined a cappella the week I got to campus, an all-women's group, and stayed in all 4 years of college. So feel free to hit me up, ask me about it. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. And then I graduated from the University of Michigan with my BBA, and I went to start my career as an investment banking analyst in the consumer retail group at Goldman Sachs, where I have been a little over a year now. I also, while in school, discovered O4U, which would by no small means change my life, as I'm sure you'll hear from many folks who've encountered the organization. I am not sure how you came across O4U, whether it was a campus ambassador or word of mouth. For me, I remember sitting in the lobby of the business school at Michigan freshman year, Googling everything you can think of that has LGBT in it. So like LGBT conference, LGBT undergrad, college, whatever it was. I was not out in high school. And so I came to school raring and ready to go and find community that I hadn't found there. And I came across that for undergrad, and I saw that obviously the conferences were happening that fall. And I scheduled an email to send to myself that following summer to remember to apply. So I did. And my sophomore year, had the pleasure of attending the Out for Undergrad Business Conference for the first time. And so then I would subsequently attend business in 2017 and 2018, and marketing once in 2017. And these conferences were so huge in my personal and professional development that I knew that I wanted to stay engaged. So I jumped in as a sponsorship director on the organizer side in 2019 for the marketing conference. So that is my story in a snapshot. There's so much more that I could talk about, and I really encourage you to come up virtually to me throughout the weekend and find me, and feel free to chat about anything. But I want to step back and share a moment with you all. So I'm going to be sharing a voicemail. It's on my phone, so I hope that the audio comes through. This is from September 27th, 2019. So that was during the weekend of the engineering conference, and it was 1 week ahead of the Marketing 2019 conference, which was my first conference as an organizer. And this was the voicemail that I received.
Up a minute. Couldn't get back to you. So I wanted to stop a minute on between mentoring sessions for engineering and had a quiet spot. And I just wanted to call and tell you that congratulations, because we are appointing you as the director of the 2020 marketing conference. And I'm so excited, and I hope you will be very excited. And when you get this message, if you don't mind, confirm back to me at least that you got it, just in case we don't get to speak anymore. But I just wanted you to hear today. That's why.
That message is from Cindy Love, our executive director. And I can tell you that when I saw the notification for a voicemail, I sat myself down and said, it's okay. You didn't get it. You're too young. You're too inexperienced. You're just starting work, and it's totally fine. And there's so much more growth for you in this organization. And I hit play on that message on a tough day that I was having. And I cried when I heard it, because I hadn't let myself feel just how badly I wanted to give back to this organization in that position because of all of the negative self-talk that was going in my head. So little did I know the year that would lie ahead. The team you will meet this week has navigated a year of pivots. So marketing and sales functions were hit hardest in March through May and continue to be hit pretty hard. So we had difficulty from a sponsorship end. We had students struggling to know their next step and whether they would be on campus next semester. And we were being inundated with sorrow from COVID and from a reckoning with racism. I know I was as a Black woman. And so there were times this year where I've hit some really low points. I was processing the end of a 3-year relationship that I'd had for most of college, and it had defined a lot of my college experience. I had just moved to New York City, where I had no family and no close friends. And I was adjusting to life as a full-time investment banker, which sometimes meant I was working from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m., 6 days a week. And then post-Memorial Day, and every day since, I have been reeling from the blunt reckoning with racism we've had as a nation. And so there were times in this year where I put on more weight than I ever have, where I broke out terribly, where I felt nothing like myself or the self that I had known for years before. And many days I didn't know how we were going to do the next one. And so in summary, life is difficult, and it's also full of these beautiful, rewarding moments like this one right now. And so I had to face some tough moments and hard truths in my first year post-grad. On a really difficult day at work that was following a month full of really hard days, I called my dad because I just didn't know how I was literally going to do the next thing in front of me. And he shared this with me. He said, every successful person has disappointed people. The disappointment does not matter now, and it will not matter tomorrow. There needs to be only one thing running through your mind on repeat. You can and you will. There is no time for I can't. So anytime you feel those tears well, or you feel weak, you say, I can and I will, and you don't stop until it's done. And I did. And I got through it, and the next wave and the next, and that mantra has definitely helped. And the team you will meet this weekend, and O4U as an organization, played a huge role in my pushing through. You will all be in situations in life where you face choices about how to spend your time and energy and how to preserve relationships when you're moving through really difficult times. And you'll all be faced with impossible situations and seemingly insurmountable issues. When that happens, I implore you to do the following. 1, push yourself to do the hard thing when it makes sense for you. Growth is never comfortable. And I'm so glad that I pushed myself to apply for conference lead this year. 2, be mindful of the factors that are impacting you. So when you find yourself feeling like you should be able to do everything that's on your plate because everyone else is, take a step back and take stock. Sometimes I literally write down, all of the factors that are unique to me that are maybe impacting my ability to process information in that moment. And use those factors to show yourself compassion and understand where you're at. 3, know that you can and you will. Sometimes for queer folks and people of color especially, it can feel like the weight of the world is on our shoulders. And it's easy to be tired because existence is exhausting. Let me tell you, lots of coffee. But know that you can and you will. And finally, know when you are not alone. And I mean, really know it. The people in your world care more than you know. And this year, I struggled with feeling like a burden. I felt like I should be able to do it all on my own. And the truth is, sometimes you can't, and you're not meant to. So you know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It has truly taken a chosen family to raise a queer icon sitting in front of you today. And I had to learn quickly how to trust and lean on the phenomenal team that you'll meet shortly in our team panel. They've all saved me and lifted me up in so many ways, big and small, that they may never know. So I implore you to dive into this weekend and get to know that team and all of your peers and our sponsors and our mentors. There's a magic to the connections O4U brings to our lives, and that transcends anything virtual. So I can't wait to hear what you find, and I can't wait to see you shortly for our team panel. Thank you.